Hey everybody, I'm Charles with MyWedding.com. I have the privilege of introducing wedding professionals locally to brides who are booking and looking for their wedding. This year I'm going to be speaking all over the world to different groups of wedding pros, teaching them how to more effectively communicate with their would-be brides. We figured there's no better way to do it than to ask them directly. So that's what we're going to do. Come along.
My name is Julia Moon, and I'm an executive recruiter.
Did you have a budget in mind when you started your wedding planning?
Unfortunately, I did not have a budget in mind. I wasn't given a specific amount. I didn't want to go too extreme, but I kept it around, probably had the budget of about 40.
Okay. Did you stay on what you had expected originally?
I did not stay on what I expected originally. I probably spent closer to about $60,000.
So what did you do first?
The first thing I did was pick a date.
Okay.
Once the date was picked, then picked the venue.
Okay, now where did you get married?
We got married in Napa, California.
Okay, and you live in?
I live in Denver, Colorado.
Okay, you did have a wedding planner, I understand.
I did have a wedding planner, yes.
Okay.
The wedding planner came with the venue, and then we paid an extra contract for him to work the ceremony as well.
Okay, terrific. And are you happy that you had a planner?
Extremely happy I had
And
a
why
wedding
is that?
planner. It just helped the process run more smoothly, especially me being here in Colorado.
Okay.
And the wedding being in Napa, it made it seamless.
So would you definitely recommend, without hesitation, a bride planning right now to have a wedding planner?
Especially if you're doing a destination wedding, I highly recommend having a wedding planner.
Okay.
I am Tessa Trimble and I'm in sales. The most challenging part of the whole planning process is definitely trying to cut down the guest list.
Okay.
I think that because you start out with the venue and you start out with all the requirements of capacity at a lot of the places and a lot of the catering requirements. That's one of the things that's hard. You have to kind of cut down your guest list from there to make sure that you don't go over budget, and then also make sure that obviously your guests can fit at where you're going to get married. In terms of when I'm interviewing these vendors of who to work with, who to choose, the ones that we haven't chosen to work with have definitely been the ones that have more so focused on their accomplishments and their qualities and who they've worked with, what they've done. And what we were really drawn to was more so the vendors who were like, hey, what do you want? And what's most important to you? And what is going to make you the happiest?
My name is Jen, and I'm an advertising executive. The favorite part of my wedding was being on the beach with 50 of our closest family and friends in Mexico. It was amazing. The planning tools that I used for the Mexico destination wedding was Google, actually. I figured out we wanted to get married at Riviera Maya, and I Googled different hotels and resorts, and then I looked up their reviews on TripAdvisor.
Okay, all right. Were reviews important to you?
Absolutely, reviews are very important.
So let's talk about reviews for a minute. What was the criteria that you look for in reviews?
In the reviews, I looked for specifically people that went there for weddings. I wanted to make sure that it was a great spot to get married, that they had venues that were available, that they had all the necessary planning people involved with it, that it was an all-inclusive resort. That was important to us. If people were going to fly all the way to Mexico to be with us, we wanted everything to be taken care of for them once they got there. I also judged websites by their pictures and by their content.
Okay.
Just because I was planning it from Denver, I had never been there before.
Hi, I'm Randy, and I'm in marketing.
Choosing your photographer, did you have criteria that you had agreed upon prior to that?
For me, it was somebody who was looking outside the box, would not just have the generic photos.
Okay.
I mean, that would have crisp, amazing photos, but at the same time would be comfortable with getting creative and finding unique shots and really telling a story rather than just having the canvas photo of you and your bridesmaids standing up.
Was price the most important? Cost, was that most important when you were choosing a vendor?
Price definitely played a pretty big part into when we were picking our vendors. It definitely at least set the tone of what batch we would start with. We didn't even kind of look at a handful of vendors that were way outside of our budget, or we would dabble in vendors that maybe were way below our budget, but at the same time we were looking for a professional, so we didn't want to kind of go through possibly getting scammed or just even the headache of, questioning if they're going to really do the job well.
Great work. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I hope that you've enjoyed what you've heard tonight, direct from the bride's lips, why she's booking, and in some cases, why she's choosing not to book. This is just a sample of what we are going to do over the next 100 days with Project Y. So for now, I want to wish you the best and blissful selling.